Well, we're 9 minutes early this evening because I don't know how long this is going to take. So I want to be done early so Charles can do his thing. I'm sure that it wouldn't matter if I was online and Charles is online, but I don't want to split up the views. So what I'm doing tonight is I'm finishing out the repair. I use a Kolinor rapidograph pen. These pens are very expensive. They're probably $25 each. A whole set can be had for about 150. I don't know now what they cost. I use India ink for film. This is by Kolinor. Black waterproof India ink for film. One of these bottles will last you 10 years, maybe longer. You don't ink very much. It don't take much ink. It probably a few drops. So what I do here is I've already laid this line out because it was so hard. I gotta lay this line to here, and then this line up, and we'll just start matching it up to the other side. However, I don't have the stencil for those ovals. I don't know what happened to it. It's probably around here somewhere, but we'll just forego those ovals. And I'm going to take an airbrush and airbrush over these ink lines. We won't be getting a coat of clear on this tonight because it has, plenty of retarder in it. That retarder will melt these ink lines. So I got to dust on the clear on these ink lines to keep them from melting. So let me take a drink of water here. We'll get the inking. There's that line replaced. I don't know if you can see it or not on there. Now I got to wait a few minutes for this to dry because if you put the ruler over it, it'll smudge. Because I believe India ink is probably a water base because well, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe isopropyl alcohol cuts it real good. So if you make a mistake, the reason it's cleared first, if you make a mistake, you can take alcohol and wipe off the ink lines. If you don't clear it, the India ink will stain the white beyond repair. You'll have to sand it and paint it. But if you clear it, you're all right. White is a funny color. It's real susceptible to mistakes. match that up perfect with my other lines so I don't have to redo them. Check square. Pretty good. Pretty good. Damn, I didn't quite make it. I couldn't see it. Come on. My eyesight's getting really bad. I can't. I'm within a few thousandths of that line. There it is. It ain't like it when I was 15, that's for sure. Close enough. Now, oh, here's the, we already got the lines drawn here. Come on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Screwed it up. Screwed the pooch. Got to take that line off. Bummer, dude. So, %70 alcohol, don't use 91. Would be a catastrophe. I need to get this off the bench so I can move better. So we erased it right off of there. However, if you don't have the clear on it, the white would be ruined. Now this line here is always the hardest to get. because it pulls into that other line. See, I make mistakes. But the trick is knowing you're going to make mistakes before you make them. I got it. Close enough. Close enough. We got to stand on this side to get them lines to line up. Did you guys enjoy the repair series? I mean, I'll do more of them like that if you want. I'd sure like to get this off here. That's close enough. Okay. We'll stand here and look at it this way. It ain't off by, it wasn't off by much, but enough that would have bothered me. Okay. Then that should be good. Yep, perfect. Now we got probably gonna have to measure that up there. No, not really. Not really. Better wait a minute. I got to get the tape down on it. I don't want to pull that line up. I got it down there perfect. I don't want to pull it up. I have to figure out some other pattern or something. Might do some tribal around that, or I don't know. I'm not going to bother with the shell sticker again and that other stuff. I might after I get the clear on it, I might hand letter around that red. I think I could pretty much zip them stripes in there, no problem. Okay, let's give it a try. Get a new piece of tape on it so it sticks. I'm just eyeballing it to the other side. It's about like that. Now this does take some practice to pull these lines without poking the paper. And the hardest part of inking is stopping on the other line so you don't get a tail. That looks about right. I already sanded this last night, so you can't feel that straight. This repair will be absolutely flawless. You will not be able to tell. You won't even be able to feel that. Yeah, to be a model airplane builder, you have to have a pretty vast array of skills. And the biggest thing the best thing that'll give you those skills is not having any money. Because if you don't have any money, you can't pay somebody to do it for you. Okay. Now the simulated flap line here, and we're done. Okay. That's it on the ink. Like I say, I don't have those ovals, so I don't know what I just leave them off. If you look on the other side, well, you can't see it. The only difference between the two sides is I don't have that oval stencil. I got it here. I just don't know where it is. We're not going to bother with it. I'll just say, well, that's an inspection panel. It's on the outboard wing and not on the inboard wing. That's the way it goes. So stand back. Let's look at it. Is it right? Looks pretty close. Now the most dangerous part. You could really screw it up here. Get out the airbrush. I'm going to dust on quite a few coats. I got to build that up quite a bit. It'll probably take tonight or today and tomorrow to get them built up so that when I put one wet coat of clear on it with the retarder, they don't melt. Okay. At least you don't have to listen to that big compressor run. Of course, it would probably, if I plug my other airline in, it's probably got air in it to run this airbrush for the next hour or so. Well, we didn't get many people to stay. There's only 5 and 5 on here. I guess if I'm not screwing something up, then you don't want to watch it. Now 6 and 5. That's why when this happened, I was a little upset, but not really. I mean, it ain't no big deal. Ain't nothing but a thing. You'd be upset if that was the only airplane you had to fly, and evening, Chris. Now, in this step here, if you miss this step, you'll regret it. Two things this does for you. As you're handling it, you're not prone to smear the ink. Let's get another coat on this right here. Help lay that down. Okay, that's one pot full. We'll do 3-4 potfuls until it has a pretty good shine. So the plan is, I'll get this on. I've got to search the internet for some tribal artwork or something, go around this Tucker. I'll put that on maybe tomorrow night. By then, this pinstripe where the ink lines will be dry enough to give it a coat of clear over the whole thing. We'll do the red ink lines, then a coat of clear, and then I'll do the outlines, brush outlines, and then we'll do 3 coats of clear and it'll be done. Well, aside from waiting a week or so and sanding and polishing. Right now it's flyable. If this was the only airplane I had, I could take it out and fly it. I don't know. We might get a coat of clear on this, a dust coat anyway. I don't know. I probably should let it set overnight. Don't want to screw it up now. Thirteen on there. 7 of you have failed to hit that thumbs up button. I'm giving valuable information tonight. Of course, this whole repair was pretty valuable if you're going to fly. To know how to repair them. I'm really surprised that this clear hasn't burned the ink, but I see no smudging, so we'll keep adding it. And the reason why I'm clearing this line here is that's where the paint break was. I sanded that line, adding some clear to build up the layers so that they're level. And when I spray this with regular clear, I'm spraying all the way to the fillet line, actually pretty close to the fillet line, all the way out, so that it becomes all one piece again. And when you go to sand and polish it, it all levels out to the same level, so you can't feel it. Now I bought that Grex paint gun. I got a Grex trigger action. It looks like a little HVLP gun, but it don't put out enough paint to do squat. I figured, well, you could paint a whole airplane with that. Nah, that was a waste of money. So if you're thinking about buying that Grex trigger gun, the Iwata series airbrushes are better. The bottom loaders that I got, you can paint a whole airplane with. The problem is you get striping. So still pretty wet. If I had to go to a contest tomorrow, I'd force dry it and paint it. And hey, Craig, I can't see that. What's sticking? Yeah, let me get over there and see what it says. It says, oh, what's striping? That's where I take my pinstriping brushes and stripe, like old hot rod. Let's see. I thought you guys remembered that. This is all hand lettered here. I'll take a liner and go around them black letters and line it out like this. A liner looks like this brush here with the long lines. These are striping brushes. This is a liner. I'll probably do it with a liner. This box of brushes right here is probably $300. Pretty expensive stuff to play with. I got another box of striping brushes somewhere. Yeah, these up here. Oh, hey, I just found them ovals. Yay! So we can put the ovals on it. Make it exact. So wait a minute and I'll put them ovals on. Oh, striping. You can see the lines because it doesn't have big enough pattern. These are Mac liners and these are Kafka liners. These are all real good. These are. I'm not so sure about the Mac liners, but I didn't know what you meant. Yeah, striping is where you can see the lines, the overlap. I like perfect, you know. If you're going to do your job, do it right. Okay. So we found the liner, or the stencil. That's a good thing. I think it's the biggest one. You don't know why. Because I didn't like it, Terry. I don't like that font. That font there, terrible. I thought it was it looked all right on the screen. When I got on the airplane, it didn't look worth a crap. So we need to do one. That's the Dr. Pepper font. Didn't like it. So add minimum 4 rolls of tape, 4 layers of tape on your stencil. Probably could go 6, but I'll just try 4 and hopefully won't screw up. Yeah, we'll go. I don't want to make a mistake. I'll add 2 more to each one. 1, 2. Come too far to make a mistake now. 1, 2. So the first one goes right. Don't move. Gotta get the pen. What did I do with the pen? I put it back. This pen is a 10 over 60,000 or 2 over 60,000. 0.6. One. There's 2 on the outside here. One more and we're done, and that ink job is correct. Terry, believe it or not, I used to live in Eugene, Oregon. I was a Eugene prop spinner when Morris Gilbert was alive. That's been about going on almost 40 years ago. And we used to fly at the airport. I had a key to the airport there. I don't even know where that's being held now. Eugene Toy and Hobby, I bought a McCoy Redhead 60 in a blue tin can for $50. And I sold it to Gerald Champ. So I know all about Eugene, Oregon. There we go. Okay, I got them on there. That's good. Let's clear them up. It's in Roseburg, Oregon, where you live. Well, it used to be in Eugene. Way back when. Good bunch of guys live up there. I lived in California, flew at Whittier Narrows. That's been shit. Going on 50 years ago. I'm happy with that repair. That repair is perfect. Perfect. So we got about 13 minutes left on the hour. We'll keep clearing for 13 minutes. I think the biggest thing I show with these videos is that with just an hour a night, you can accomplish a whole lot if you sit down and do it. He says, I'm an original Seattle Sky Raider. Flew with Paul Walker for years. In fact, I flew Paul's Discovery for years. Well, I was a Tom Warden protege. So that tells you how long ago that was. The two best builders in Southern California were Tom Warden and Bill Noyes. And they didn't teach me anything, but I watched them, what they were doing, and big help. Big help. Because back in those days, nobody would tell you anything. So you had to pay attention. At that time, Tom Warden was our testers rep for my dad's hobby shop. And I think Bill Noyes was the president of the club in LA. Man, it's been so long, I don't even remember the name of the club. Knights of the Round Circle? I don't know, something like that. Whatever clubs in LA, that's the one I belong to. And then I got with Victor Cunningham, who was our Pettit rep. He was a free flight guy, and he flew out of Victorville. I basically used to just like to go and chase the planes on the motorcycle. Mike Hazel, that sounds familiar. John Thompson, I probably know him, but you know, it's just like with anything. I'm kind of terrible with names. I'm getting old like the rest of you guys. Maybe older. Some of them. Still in pretty good shape. I haven't Didn't make it. Hard to believe this is an old man's hobby now, because it was a kid's hobby back then. Kids have moved on to video games. Kids will tell you about computers. They're real good on computers, but you ask them simple questions of which wire is the hot, which is the neutral, black or white. They can't tell you. Which side of the electrical plug do you put the black wire on, silver or gold? Can you jump the green to the neutral to pass code? Well, as long as the inspector don't pull a plate off it, you can. Yeah, we got enough clear on this now that I won't worry about. Well, you got to make a trip to the Nats and pick one up. But I got to tell you, I don't sell them cheap. Aviojet, saw that I get between $1,500 and $2,000 for each one. He tried to sell his for that kind of money. No, it ain't happening. These are actually works of art. I mean, really, that's what I think they are. They're not just toys. They're don't dent up my leading edge. Yep, it's gonna come out perfect. I'll look around on the internet tonight for some tribal to get over here in red to kind of balance out the wings. And we'll be shooting clear on it tomorrow. Whether I outline it or tomorrow, that's up for debate. Depends how I feel. When I was striping motorcycles years and years ago, I used to have to drink a bottle of wine before I could do it. Now that I don't drink, my hands are a little jittery. Got to get in the groove again. I got to start striping, or there's not enough time for me to do all the shit I want to do. I want to build, some wood projects. I forgot to tape it today, but I took 3 2x4s and turned it into a nightstand, and it ain't bad looking. With a drawer, 3 2x4s cost $9. A guy from down the street was building some kind of trellises. I said, hey, why don't you just make them out of fence pickets? Fence pickets? You can't do that. Yeah, you can. I make all kind of shit out of fence pickets. I had a hell of a time finding a water key. I gotta replace some faucets in this bathroom, and I got a stuck valve down in the basement, main valve, and I'm going to put a pipe wrench on it. And if I break it, I want to be able to shut the water off at the curb. Not many, they didn't carry that key. I had to look all over for it. Could have made one if I was back at work, but I got one now, so no big deal. Nice to have in an emergency, or if the city shuts you off, you could turn yourself back on. We're going to have problems again in the neighborhood. The flop house is opening up again, a couple of doors down from me. We've shut them down every year, but they're back at it again. I have to start calling the aldermen and the cops and stuff. I know a guy that makes beautiful furniture out of pallets. Oh, yeah. Yeah, pallet wood. Yeah, sure. It's not the tools and it's not the wood. It's the guy that knows how to sand. And what I'm thinking about doing with this 2x4 table is taking some polyester car putty, smearing it all over it, sanding it down, shooting it with epoxy primer, then putting base coat, clear coat on it, painting it jet black, look like a piano. And it'll be $1 million looking nightstand for $9. It's just a lot of work. The only reason why I took 3 2x4s is I cut all the knots out of it. I didn't want any knots in it, so I had to cut it in different spots to get rid of the knots. I'm going to put some red tribal in this area somewhere to balance out the left wing or the right wing there, just to make it look balanced. And then I might outline the tucker with red stripes, then 3 more coats of clear, and then it'll be sand and buff and polish, and the hard work is yet to come. This is the easy stuff. The real work starts when I break out the 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 paper and start polishing. But this is what it looked like before. It looked like that before, with the Dr. Pepper logo. I didn't want to go through all that. It's too much of a pain. So, and Craig said enough with the advertising, so we got rid of that. They ain't paying me nothing for it, so they don't get it on there. Oh, I gotta clean out the brush, the airbrush. Get the lid on this. Man, I love the smell of dope. I just love it. I'm a glue sniffer. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It doesn't smell good out of the can, to me. It's too powerful, but it has a real nice aroma after you spray it and it gets in the air. You know, I think thinner's pretty potent. And I used to really love Aerogloss, and I got a couple quarts of Aerogloss left. I just wish I had the thinner for it. I have yet to get around to trying to thin that with MEK, but I'm sure that would probably do it. However, for you guys trying to experiment, if you got any Aerogloss and you want to thin it with MEK, when I was in the Navy painting real airplanes, we had 55-gallon drums of MEK. You'd be surprised what I remember, Craig. MEK is so hot that it flashes over so quick it traps moisture. So I got a feeling that if I'm going to try to use MEK with Aerogloss, I'd have to mix it with probably 50% MEK, 25% xylene, 15% toluene, and 10% retarder. And I probably could make the thinner. That would probably work. And I love these airbrushes. Okay, so we're done with this. And we're done with that. Got all the dents out of the leading edge. You thinned your Aerogloss with acetone and it worked. There's another hot thinner. Too hot for bonding. But I got 2 quarts of the old Aerogloss, and I probably should use it up. Use it as a base, because it really bites into the wood. Now, if I could figure the thinner out, you could paint anything over Aerogloss. You can't paint anything Aerogloss over anything. That includes urethane, anything. Powder coat, I bet it would lift powder coat off. And that's because MEK, I'm just about sure of it, but there is no ingredient label. There is no ingredients listed on the label, which is a bummer. It's like the DC 540. I knew why it worked right away because of the xylene in it. And it's odd because you can feel the xylene in DC 540, the old stuff. You'd be sanding, your hands would tingle like they were buzzing. All right, it looks like we're coming down to the wire, the end of the show. Any questions, I'll answer them in the next 2 minutes. We're an hour in. So in an hour's time, I've got it inked and the ink line's cleared. It's ready. It's ready for the clear on it now. I got 4 or 5 coats of dust coats of clear on it. However, you still don't want to flood that ink line with a big heavy dose of retarder because it will migrate. I mean, they just melt. And that would be a catastrophe now because we're done. I mean, I'm probably going to fly this at Brodak. I don't know about the Nats this year. You know, I'm not even sure I'm going to enter. I might go and film, but I got no practice. I have 0 flights for the year. 0. Last year I went to the Nats, I had 12 flights under my belt. How can I compete with that? You don't, we don't get to start flying good till the end of the season because of the crappy weather around here, the rain, the wind. I mean, it rained so hard here yesterday. My roof leaked again. I mean, there's nothing I can do. Well, thank you, Yogi. I just do average work, I guess. There's quite a few good builders in the country. Paul Walker, Howard Rush, Phil Granderson when he was alive, Bob Hunt, Bill Warridge. I mean, there's just too many guys to name that really build a nice airplane. Really, and Derek Barry and the Barrys build nice airplanes. Even Richard Oliver builds a nice airplane if you learn how to glue the bell crank in so it wouldn't pull out. Then they got Bill Wilson down there. He's a car painter. He builds nice airplanes. Gerald Champ builds nice airplanes. There's probably a couple of hundred guys in the country that build super nice airplanes. But I would not, it would not bother, I could compete against them in building, but I can't compete against them in flying because we just don't have time to practice. I'd have to move to the West Coast or move to Florida or something, move somewhere where I can fly more. Because you're not going to be able to put in 12 flights and compete. There's just no way. And to be honest with you, it's a real chore to drive out to the field. It takes 45 minutes to get to the field here in St. Louis. At least in Dayton, it was 5 minutes away or 10 minutes away. But here in St. Louis, it's 45 minutes away. Then you don't know if anybody's going to be there. I don't know. Boo-hoo. But I'll keep building and flying as long as I'm alive. As long as I can afford the balsa wood. It's pretty bad when balsa wood costs as much as you could build a house for the cost of balsa wood. One sheet of 16th is $3 and something. One 2x4 is $3 and something. Same. You get 100 times difference in the wood. So you could definitely do a room addition for what it costs to build one of these airplanes. But I got quite the supply of wood left over there, just none of that real outstanding stuff. The day of 3 and 4 pound balsa is gone, I think. So I'm going to have to figure out composites. And when I do that, I'm going to show everybody how to do it. So there's anybody else, can do it. Everybody's trying to keep that a secret. Well, that ain't nothing to it. It's just a matter of doing it. I will guarantee you that if I took my tape measure and started measuring out a Yat Stinko, I could make one exactly like it. I just have to take the numbers down. All right, I'm out of here. See you tomorrow. Fair winds, tight lines. Make sure to check out Charles's program tonight. See ya.